maathrey, namaha. With the divine blessings of our Mother Divine Lalita Sahasranamam and Father Divine Lord Mahadeva, we are discussing the very secretive part of Lalita Sahasranamam, the Kundalini Yogam, Kundalini Dhyanam. In those divine efforts, being blessed by the divine parents, we have come to discuss about the knots, the granthis, and in the previous episode we did discuss about Rudra Granthi Vibhedini. Once the Rudra Granthis is trespassed or pierced by the Kundalini, she or he, a devotee, will experience a new state of existence where she or he might be physically alive, but when a yogi sees them, they will realize that they have gone beyond the human life. So that body is as good as reborn or dead, therefore reaching their final state of moksham in that life itself. Therefore, when some of the great sadhakas are looked at by yogis or great devotees who have invoked the Kundalini, they will notice that the sadhaka physically is dead but spiritually is alive in the body, marching towards his or her final exit from the Panchabhutatmika Shariram or the five-elemented body. The next namam, SudhaSarabhi Varshini. SudhaSarabhi Varshini essentially means that Sudhasaram, flow of Amritam or elixir that flows from the Sahasratalam when Kundalini rises and passes all the Shat Chakras, Muladaram to Sahasratalam by crossing Muladaram, Swadhishthanam, Manipuram, Anahatam, Vishuddhi and Agya Chakram. And as Kundalini ascends up to unite with Shiva, that's where the nectar will start flowing through from her feet, because in the Sahasratalam there is nectar that is frozen in each of us. The first few days of our birth, when at the top of the head you can see the pulse of the newborn baby, the baby is enjoying itself in a state of divine bliss. Therefore, they are constantly smiling, even though they are not able to look at anything, sleeping most of the time. In that sleep, which is the divine trance, they are one with the God, experiencing that Advaita Anandam. As the skull starts becoming hard, the internal Sudhasara becomes frozen, therefore unknown, where the Maya will start descending upon the Jiva or the body, and therefore causing a wheel or making a wheel slowly come down on that Advaitik Anandam. And when Kundalini rises, a lot of us will feel the heat go through from bottom of the spine to the top as it ascends. Kundalini manifests differently in different people. Some people will feel the body goes numb. Some people will feel the variation in temperature. Some people will feel there's an increase in temperature. Some people will feel mild pain ascending through. Some people will feel a pulsating pulse at different parts of the spine. Now, when this rising Kundalini goes to the Sahasratalam, the frozen Amrita will again defrost, and it will start descending down through all the 72,000 nerves of the body, and that is the state of SudhaSarabhi Varshini, where a yogi will feel she or he is being energized by that cosmic energy which the primordial Kundalini will connect. Essentially, think of the Kundalini as the electric cable that connects the source of power to the battery in us. Kundalini will become that relaying cable that stretches out, plugs in into the cosmic infinite source of power and bliss and starts consciously charging our body, which happens when all of us sleep unconsciously, involuntarily. But the moment it becomes conscious effort, the bliss can only be experienced and cannot be explained, at least by ignorant beginners like me. To quote the SudhaSarabhi Varshini, it mentions in many of the Devi Tantra Sastras, Amrutasya Dara Bahuda Dohamanam Charanam no Loke Suditam Dadatvi. Those erupting or fountains of Amrita will spread in all the directions, nourishing the yogi even without food, water and breath. And the result of such a state is moksha, being one with the Paramatma in that Advaitik Anandam. And this also leads to a constant state of health. When we were discussing the Ida Pingala, we discussed about Ida being the Chandra Nadi, Pingala being the Surya Nadi. When the Chandra and Surya are in balance, our body continues to be in a state of ease. When that balance is imbalanced, our body gets into a state of dis-ease. And when one continues to chant Lalita Sahasranamam, unknowingly, though he or she has the Bija Akshras or Bija Mantras, the Bija Akshra Bija Mantras are kept very secretively in Lalita Sahasranamam to ensure safety of the devotees on this very powerful path. Therefore, the balance will naturally be achieved, therefore ensuring health. That is the reason the Veda says people who chant Lalita Sahasranamam will always be healthy and be very pleasant to be around, because their body continues to emit and emits, it continues to be a reservoir of positive energy. Satsankalpams. If we were to look at the Lalita Sahasranama Palashruti in the Uttara Bhagam, it says clearly, Charme Janmani Sri Vidya Pasako Bhavet. Only in the last Janma, in the journey of the soul, a devotee, he or she, will become the Sri Vidya Upasaka. Sri Vidya Upasaka does not just mean getting a mantram alone. One who experiences these experiences according to his or her sadhana at the level they are in is what will make them a true Sri Vidya Upasaka. These days, getting the mantrams like Panchadasi, Shodashi, if we Google up, we can get. If we get by the books, we can get. But when we get them through the direction of a guru is when it starts becoming effective. Until that point in time, the Bijakshras are like seeds that are being thrown into the wrong soil. And depending on the fertility, the match of the soil, there will be specific procedures that need to be followed to ensure it germinates effectively. This is a brief attempt at SudhaSarabhi Varshini. Our Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya gives a shlokam in Saundarya Lahari talking about Manidvipam being in the middle of that ocean of milk and nectar. That Manidvipam exists in our body, in this Sahasratalam, when Divine Mother Lalita Tripura Sundari becomes one with Kameshwara, and when she becomes one with Kameshwara, the Amrita Dharas that flow from her feet go through the Kamadhenu as shown in the picture, just above the Agya Chakram, which fills our body with an ecstatic bliss, which needs to be experienced as Advaitic Anandam. Stay blessed. In the next episode, we will discuss the next namam, Tatil Lata Samaruchihi. Spread the bliss around. Shri maathrey, namaha.